Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're delving into a story that serves as a chilling reminder of how quickly a moment of innocent fun can turn into an unimaginable tragedy. This is the story of Emma Garza and the party that ended in heartbreaking silence. It was 2013 in a quiet Texas suburb. The Garza family was throwing a 14th birthday party for their daughter, Emma. The house was filled with everything you'd expect: pizza, music, balloons, and the excited chatter of teenagers. It was a perfect Saturday night, full of laughter and joy. No one could have possibly imagined the horror that was about to unfold. Around 10:30 p.m., as the party started winding down, 7 teens, including Emma, decided to play a game of hide and seek. It was a nostalgic, simple choice. They turned off most of the lights to make it more challenging, more fun. One of the boys started counting to 60 in the kitchen, and the others scattered into the shadows, their giggles echoing through the dimly lit house. Some hid under tables, others slipped behind curtains. But Emma, always clever, wanted the ultimate hiding spot. She quietly made her way out the side door and into the garage. The air in there was cool, with the faint smell of motor oil. Against the far wall sat an old, heavy wooden chest that had belonged to her grandfather. For years, it just held old Christmas decorations. This, she thought, was the perfect place. No one would ever think to look here. She lifted the heavy lid, which creaked on its rusted hinges. Seeing it was mostly empty, save for a few old blankets, she climbed inside, crouched down, and pulled the lid closed. She heard a faint but final click as the latch fell into place. Back inside, the seeker shouted, "Ready or not, here I come." The game was on. Footsteps echoed as he searched for the hiders. Emma, hidden in her wooden fortress, felt a surge of pride. She could hear the muffled sounds of the game, the laughter, the doors opening and closing. She was going to win. But as minutes stretched into 20, then 40, the air inside the chest grew warm and heavy. The space felt tighter than she'd realized. The sounds of the game began to fade. From inside the house, a distant voice called, "Emma, game's over. You can come out now." Her friends thought she was just playing one of her usual pranks. Emma loved being the last one found, popping out to surprise everyone. But as more time passed and she didn't appear, their amusement turned to confusion. Her phone was still on the kitchen counter, her shoes by the door. The garage light was off, and in the dark, no one even considered checking it. It wasn't until midnight, when parents started arriving to pick up their kids, that the first real wave of panic set in. Emma's mother realized she wasn't with the other teens, saying their goodbyes. "Where's Emma?" she asked. The kids looked at each other, their faces now showing concern. "She's probably still hiding," one of them said, but his voice was full of doubt. The search began again, but this time it was frantic. Lights were flipped on, every closet and corner was checked. Her parents' calls grew louder, their voices laced with a growing dread. The happy atmosphere of the party had completely evaporated, replaced by a cold, heavy fear. The garage was the last place they looked. Mr. Garza swung the door open, and the motion sensor light flickered on. He scanned the familiar space: bicycles, boxes, and then the chest. A terrible feeling washed over him. The lid was shut, the old latch sealed. He moved toward it, his heart pounding, and called her name one last time, his voice barely a whisper. Then, he lifted the latch. When the lid creaked open, the world stopped. Emma was curled inside. Her eyes were closed, and her small hands were pressed against the inside of the lid, as if she had been trying to push it open. Paramedics would later determine that the antique chest was airtight. She had likely run out of oxygen in under an hour. The sound that ripped through the house when her mother saw her is a sound that the children who were there that night will carry with them for the rest of their lives. The flashing lights of police cars soon cut through the darkness. The official report ruled it a tragic accident. No foul play, just a faulty latch and a terrible twist of fate. But in the days that followed, a disturbing detail emerged. Several of Emma's friends, when questioned, recalled hearing faint tapping noises during the game. Soft, rhythmic knocks. One girl was sure they came from the direction of the garage, but she dismissed it, thinking it was just someone else hiding. Another friend remembered joking, "That's probably Emma messing with us." They had all laughed. The knocking had stopped soon after. For weeks, sleep offered no escape. The sound of that quiet, desperate tapping haunted their dreams. One boy swore, he woke up in the middle of the night to hear it again, 3 faint knocks on his bedroom window. As if the game was still being played, the Garza family moved away the following summer, unable to stay in the house filled with such a devastating memory. The house sat empty for months. The chest was gone, of course, but a local legend began to grow. Some neighbors claimed that, on quiet nights, you could still hear a hollow creaking sound coming from the garage, like a wooden lid slowly opening and closing on its own. The story became a whispered warning passed down in the town. Never hide where no one can find you, though the official file is closed. For those who were there, the story doesn't feel finished. They'll tell you that deep down, they can still hear it, a faint, rhythmic knocking, forever asking to be found, echoing from just beyond the walls of memory. Because somewhere, in that silent space between laughter and tragedy, Emma Garza is still playing, waiting to be found in a game that never truly ended. Thank you for watching. This story is a heartbreaking reminder to always be aware of your surroundings and the potential dangers in seemingly safe places. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.